like to welcome you all out to another one of our paid co-founder trainings that we do on Mondays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today happens to be Thursday, February 19th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're glad that you're all here. Everybody can go ahead and unmute and do a shout out and a hello to each other. We're glad you're here.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Please.
Hi,
Hello,
everybody.
everybody.
Hello,
Hello.
everyone.
Hello,
Hi.
everybody.
Hey, everyone.
We have a fantastic experience for
Hi,
sure.
everyone.
All right, and a big shout out to Tony. Tony Baroni,
Got it.
our most recent star. We've got a poster made for him out there. He hit the magic number 13 there. So
I'll
13
take
out,
it.
13 out of 20. So there you go. So congratulations on stepping it up, Tony. We appreciate you. All
Yes,
right.
sir. Thank you.
All right. And all right, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and open up the chat. This is a paid training, so for those of you that are qualified for training, go ahead and go ahead and put the correct wallet address into the chat, so we'll be sure to get you paid for showing up here. And just another way that we recognize you and we appreciate you for your attendance and your attention, you know. All right, so. Yep, more people are still coming in. So I love it when people show up actually early, when they come before the time when it starts. So that's great. We do still have, looks like more people coming in, but we'll keep it open, okay, Hunter? So
Will do.
you can just, no need to close it out right now. So let it come in. Let them in. All right, so let's see here. I just talked to the programmer before coming onto the call here, and Google's telling us it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks for them to do their review. So we're dealing with a large corporation, and so they move like like an aircraft carrier on the ocean. It takes them a while to turn, do anything. So yeah, that's okay. We are putting our attention on things that are going to move us forward. And so that's okay. All of us are, we're aware of how to get around the red thing. And if you don't know how to get around the red thing, there's someone there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can ask, how do we get around this red thing that pops up? And they'll show you how to get around it. But it doesn't look pretty. No one likes the red thing. Nobody likes the red thing, right? So yeah. So, but it's there for now until we get rid of it. And I'm sure we'll get rid of it. So
Disappeared for me.
what's that?
It
Yeah.
disappeared for me. It's not there now.
It's never,
Yeah.
I've never seen it. So, and I use a Mac, so that might be one of the reasons.
I'm not seeing
Well,
it anymore.
I was seeing it, but it's disappeared now.
Well,
Yeah, it looks like it's gone.
Google told us 2 or 3 weeks, but yeah, maybe they like to, over deliver, under promise kind of. That'd be great, you know.
Ace, it's clear on mine too, and I'm on an iMac, so
Okay, well, Macs usually didn't have a problem, so it was the PCs and the people's phones. People were seeing on their phone.
yeah.
Anyway, so hopefully it's gone. But if it's if it's put up for another 2 3 weeks, what choice do we have? But the programmer suggested let's just create a new domain, and I'm like, no, that's too much chaos, and we'll this will be gone at some point. It's no need to do that. But we do have we always have that nuclear option. You know what I'm saying? So. So if we want to like a nuclear bomb, we can do that, but it's chaotic to change domain names and all that. Don't like to do that. Not really necessary. All right, so that's, boy, that, I was really surprised when I learned about it that one time, and then we've been dealing with it since that point. But it happened right here on a live training call that I learned about it. And we dealt with it since that point. But it's just part of the world that we're in. There's a lot of third parties involved in what we do. We don't have control over what they do, but we try to do things in the right way as much as possible. But We can't stop, cyber attacks. Those are going to happen to everyone, Pretty much if you're on the internet, you're exposed to cyber attacks. That's how it works. You're right. So that's the day and age that we live in. We have a lot to put up with when it comes to that kind of stuff. All right. So let's see here. Today, so much I want to talk about, but I want to put a fine point on it too. All right. It's just too bad we have a seller problem because we have tried to reach out to the sellers in the sense that like guys, why are you selling so soon when we're telling you where we're going is so much bigger for you, you know? But in spite of that, we just have some people that they're just bent on selling early and they've lost their ability to keep doing business with us because they've been banned from our websites, which allows them to get our coins much easier, than going to the market, you know. So, um, but in spite of all that, uh, we have now taken a turn that we need to recognize the people that haven't done anything to cause alarm or bring any kind of concern or issue. I like to refer to those members as our true and faithful members who they haven't sold any of their coins. They haven't transferred their coins. They haven't done anything except for follow the guidelines and the rules that we set forth, and they've been cooperating 100%. Those kind of people are worth, acknowledging. Would you guys agree? We should acknowledge people like that. Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely.
recognize them.
Yes.
And I'll go a step further. Besides recognizing those people, we want to reward them. Okay. So this is why I came up with the idea of the new community and the coin to go with it. Okay. Because this would be like taking an ownership stake in a much smaller group. Because with pool funding, we're looking at a co-owner or a co-founder of 10,000. That'd be a size group there that we're building there. In the case of this new coin, it's going to be hundreds. Okay. And that's it. Not even, it'll never reach 1,000, right? So it's going to be hundreds of you that step up to be, opt in and be a part of that. And then the reward comes in the sense that you're going to take the 1 billion coins that will be, built for this community, and they'll be divided up proportionally on how much PML that each is holding. Because right now we're trying to get PML to get started and move really well. Okay, we want PML to be successful. We know that with the PML going very, very well, everything we're doing in pool funding will then follow that, right? And it should do just as well, if not better. Okay, but we need the PML piece of the equation to be working very well, and so that's why, depending on how much PML coin that you hold, that's proportionate to what you're going to get. That's proportionate to what you're going to get in the new coin. Okay. So I can break that down further, but I've already explained this before. But if anybody'd like to ask me to break it down further, unmute and ask me to break it down further. But it's proportionate. Okay. The more you have, the bigger your portion is. Nope, nobody's asking me to. Okay, good. I will tell you this. I can tell you what the smallest amount will be. Okay. The smallest amount of the billion coins that you're going to get is 20,000 of them. 20,000 coins. Now that's a lot of coins for the small guy, right? That's as small as it's going to get. We made some posters about that. Okay. And basically, when we launch the liquidity on this, we'll put one coin up and put $1,000 USDT up, and that'll be the value, right off the bat. It'd be 1,000, 1,000 dollars. And let's see here, $1,000. I'm looking for pool funding. There we go. And one coin. So one coin. So that means we're talking about $1 trillion market cap. Okay. On day one. Okay. There's our newest star. And let's see here. Might be faster if I look this way. Media. This one look right there. Okay. Thank you for your loyalty. This gigantic reward is available to you because you have not sold our coins or transferred them prematurely. Go to the community coin offer page on our website and opt in today. The smallest reward you can get is 20,000 coins valued at $1,000 per coin. Hunter, do the math. How much is that in dollars and cents for the smallest person?
So for 20,000 coins times $1,000 per coin, we're looking at 20 million.
Correct. $20 million reward. Does that sound like a nice reward for the true and faithful?
Yes.
Yes,
That's
sir.
incredible.
Oh, yeah.
That's the smallest one, guys. That's the one at the bottom of the stack is going to get that much. So it's going to be at least that for everyone, okay, that chooses the opt-in. Now to opt in, what you got to do, and by the way, stars, when they opt in, they shouldn't have to pay. And if they end up paying, they can get a hold of me and ask for a refund, okay? But, you know, that should be corrected by now, I would hope anyway. So go into our pool funding website and we just do a quick refresh because it's lagging a little bit. Okay. And you click on explore and then you click on community coin offer. Okay. All right. Now my previous video goes into great detail, so I'm not going to go as much detail today because I already did it. You can go to the YouTube and watch it. Okay. But to opt in, you're gonna basically click here to pay $100 in USDT, and then you're in. And then your allocation is going to be showing right here, and you can grow it. You've got till the 15th of March to make that a bigger allocation. Okay, you can make your position even bigger just by buying up more PML. So this should encourage everyone to buy a PML so that their allocation grows, you know. The smallest allocation would be 0.0001. That's the smallest acceptable, which is about $16 right now. Okay. So if you got $16 of PML, we'll give you $20 million of the other coin. Okay. So now only one of those coins will be sent to the wallet. The rest of them are going to be held. You know how we kind of hold things here in our account page. You know, we've got the holding thing. The new website will have this as well, like in a holding area. So let's say you're one of the small guys and you got 20,000 coins. So you'll have 19,999 of your coins sitting here in like a holding area on the new website. And then one coin will be sent over to your wallet. Okay. So you'll have that, but that's not one coin to spend. Just to be clear, that's one coin to hold. Okay. But it's in your wallet. Okay. And it's very important that we understand that this is a coordinated effort. Everything we do is all about being coordinated. Okay. It's a cooperation and a coordination. Okay. It's the same thing. And so what we want you to do is we want you to show up to meetings. When you show up to meetings, you gotta have your video on, like so many of you do right now. Okay. You gotta have your video on. We want transparency in this community. It's all explained on the page there. Okay. When you go to opt in. All right. So this is going to be a core group of people that we can really trust. And even though they've got one coin and they could go sell in the market, we know that they won't do that because if they do, all the other coins that are being held on the website, they'll be gone. Okay. So that's a massive, amount that you could lose. Am I right?
Oh, yes.
That's
Yes.
I mean, who's going to do that, right? You pay $100 to get in and you're going to lose it all just by, whatever. But anyway, we're not inviting the people that have already burned us, the people that have sold, we've identified many of them, the people that are transferring coins around. They're not invited, okay? They're not invited to be part of the new community, but everybody else is, the true and faithful, all of you are invited. You don't have to join. It's an opportunity to opt in. So for $100, you get at least $20 million. It's up to you if you want the deal or not, you know? Now, once you're in, what then what? Okay. Well, that's where all of you that are in, when we talk about the community, we're not talking about the global community here. We're not talking about 9 billion people, okay? We're specifically talking about only those people that have opted in before March 15th of this year. If you're one of those people, you are part of the community. Okay? People that come after that are not going to be known as the community. They're going to be known as users of the opportunities within the community. Okay? That's so make it very clear. The community is just going to be this really core team, this tight core team of maybe I'm going to say 400 people. If I could, throw a dart, I'd say, okay, I think it's going to hit 400. So I think about 400 of you are going to step up, pay the $100 to be a part of the community. And you're going to get at least $20 million worth of the coin allocated to you, minimum. And you got all the way till March 15th to ramp that up to whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever number you'd like it to be, Some of you are already practically billionaires, because of how many coins you already have, how many PML coins you have, and the fact that you've been true and faithful and you haven't sold any, you haven't transferred any, you've been doing really good. And we appreciate you. So this is a nice reward. Would you guys agree that's a wonderful reward?
Absolutely.
Incredible reward.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fantastic reward.
Yes.
But just like I've said before, rewards have responsibilities, okay? So, and you know what? I'm not afraid of the word responsibility. Some people are. I'm not. I love the idea of responsibility. I think responsibility is cool, okay? Other people may have a different opinion, but I love responsibility because to me, I don't hear it the same way other people hear it. Some people hear the word responsibility and they think obligation, you know what I'm saying? But no, I see it as like this. It is a response ability. In other words, the ability to respond. Okay. And then that is something that I can choose. And I have freedom and I choose how I want to respond to everything. Right. So that's how I see responsibility. Okay. And so within this community, there's going to be many of the people, many of them that you see right here on the screen right now. They're going to have some great, wonderful ideas, and they'll be able to kick off their idea inside the community as long as the community, agrees to the idea, right? So ideas will be presented, kind of like a committee. The idea will pass or not pass, and then go from there. How's that sound?
Wonderful.
Great.
So
Yeah,
with,
sounds
with,
great.
with within this new
Sounds
coin,
good.
there's not going to be one opportunity. There could be hundreds of opportunities. Okay, within just this one coin, any product, any service, lots of things could be launched. Okay, within this community. Okay. So, and then each opportunity within it is just something that you can choose to participate in or not. But here's the idea. Probably how this is going to start is that no one is going to sell the one coin sitting in their wallet. No one's going to sell it. The other coins are not in the possession of anyone to sell them. So we're basically talking about 999,999,999 coins that aren't going to be sold for a period of time. But yet there'll be one coin, the original liquidity coin. That one can be, purchased. And of course, when you buy it, you're buying a little bit of it. You're not, it won't be, it won't be possible if nobody sells any of their coin. It won't be possible to get a whole coin, only a bit of it, right? And so it'll be up to the community to decide when it's a good idea to unleash the next coin and so on, right? But that's this is all going to be done through a cooperative effort. Okay. But in the meantime, if you buy coin, okay, out of the liquidity, then then there'll be agreements in place and what you can do after you buy it, okay? But again, these discussions are going to happen inside of the community. Okay, there's going to be Zoom meetings for the community. Okay. So I just got a message, but I have to answer it after the call. So that's right now we've got Monday and Thursday. We're doing trainings for pool funding, for PML, pool micro lending. But pretty soon, within a week or two, we'll have our very first community meeting. Okay. And then the allocation depends on how many people step up to allocate their coin, because if like I said, the smallest it could possibly be is someone holding 0.0001, so 3 zeros after the decimal point of PML. But that would be the smallest amount that's acceptable to be a part of the community. But the allocation doesn't depend on what's available in PML. It depends on how many people contribute, okay, their thing, and then that's what gets redivided. Okay. So we collect everybody's pieces, we added them all up, right? And the day we do that is March 15th. Okay. And then proportionates are actually defined at that moment. Your portion is this, your portion is that. It can't really be defined before that date. It has to be done at the end of it, the end of the collection period. Okay. That's when we define your portion. So there you go. So, all right. Now, here's the beautiful thing about this is that you have the potential of having hundreds of different ideas, and it only takes one out of hundreds to become explosive, like blows up and gets like really big, the whole world wants it. You know what I'm saying? It only takes one, and then the coin value goes up for everyone. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So we don't need every single idea to be successful in order for the overall, thing to be successful. Okay. We just need one or more that it ends up just drawing the world in, going viral, and then we can say the community is going to be very successful and people will have to buy the PML coin from the market so that they can participate in any one of those opportunities, including the explosive ones. Okay. And the more explosive it is, the more opportunity to sell the coin. Bottom line, right? That's what it's going to be based on. And selling the coin is a way of kind of like, think of it like dividends. Okay. If you buy stock in a company, you get dividends on the company, you know what I'm saying? That kind of idea. So there'll be opportunities to sell, but those will be done based on what the community wants to do. So there's not going to just be any one individual, including myself. I'll just be a member of the community. I'm not going to be, in fact, I've turned over leadership on this one to Hunter. So Hunter will be, he's the big cheese in this case, you know. So, but again, even he won't have the power to say, whatever. It's not going to be a dictatorship, right? It's going to be something that's fair. Okay. That sound good, guys?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So you'll have strong leadership. You'll have my support, 100%, of course, and then you'll have a whole bunch of other supporters as well. And then it just takes one great idea and I think a group of, let's say 400 of us come together. If 400 of us come together, put our heads together, someone's bound to come up with that beautiful thing that just takes us to the moon, right? And then the value of the coin that we all hold, we all benefit from that, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we're starting our own country here. So anyway, so
That would actually be nice.
you like that?
Yeah.
William Wallace, freedom.
You got it.
This is my buddy here in Las Vegas. He's just down the road from me here. So
Yeah.
we've had coffee together.
Yeah.
And he's also one of our PML stars. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, some people say he looks like Vin Diesel. So
I've heard that a lot. Yeah, I hear that a lot.
I'm sure you do. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, exciting times. And I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you for being true and faithful. I know that, look, this is my experience, okay? All big wins have a kind of a cloud of uh, let's just say trouble, okay, in front of them, okay? It's just the way the universe, it's like a test, if you will. The universe, before it gives you something gigantic, it's always going to give you some trouble ahead of time just to see if you can handle the trouble. You know what I'm saying? If you can't handle it, maybe you can't handle having something big. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't put up with, some challenges on the front end of, putting something out there, then yeah, the universe will take note, you know. And I use a very generic term because I'm not trying to sway anybody on what their spiritual beliefs are. You know what I'm saying? Some people would rather me say the word God, instead of universe. But because I know that depending on who you're talking to, that word could trip them out. You know what I'm saying? So, but there are people that hear universe and they get tripped out. So it doesn't matter what you say, someone's gonna get tripped out. But realize that there's somebody that's a higher consciousness that's really in charge. You know what I'm saying? We're just players on the field, if you will. Um, but there's definitely higher conscious things happening in higher dimensions that reward us and they punish us and they all kinds of crazy stuff goes on because of what they decide. So it's best to take note of the behavior of these higher consciousness because if you recognize that there's always a trial before the miracle, okay? It happens 100% of the time. That is a pattern you can count on and it's well documented, okay? So what we've been going through, guys, don't think of it as like a negative omen. Actually see it in the positive light that it should be seen in this. Of course, we're going to be tried before we receive the great miracles that are coming. We want to do some big things here. We'd like to see a world that's, where poverty doesn't exist anymore. We'd like to see a world where, yeah, AI and the robots take over all the jobs, but that just actually lifted humanity into a higher dimension instead of a lower one. You know what I'm saying? And gave us the ability to be even more human, if you will, right? So I think if you really think about it, is grinding out work when you could have a machine do that, right? Is grinding out work really the most human thing that you could be doing with your time. I don't think so, right? So, but if AI and robots take over a lot of the so-called work, well, we can embrace that as a good thing as long as we figure out how, we still get to use money in a way that we can feed ourselves and not just live at a survival level, but actually prosper as a result, right? So that's where we're coming from here. And so in order for us to see this transition going from what it's been like to what we could be like in a good way, we're going to go through trials. And this whole thing we're going through with the sellers and the thing we're going through with this red thing, whatever, just recognize them as those are just the troubles that come ahead of the miracles that are bound to come right afterwards. So get ready for the big wins and the big enjoyments and the great celebrations that are to come on the other side of all of this. I've got a lot of experience with this, guys. I've done things people said were not possible. I've personally done them. Okay. And I can tell you, same pattern. There's always trouble in the front, and the blessings are huge on the back. And of course, nobody likes trouble, but the blessings make it worth it. Okay, it totally makes it worth it. All right, so it's definitely going to be worth it. All the stuff we've had to put up with. I know sometimes we get emotional, we get discouraged, whatever. And again, this comes back to response ability, the ability to respond. Do you always let things control whether you feel, encouraged or discouraged, or are you making the decision, on how you feel, right? Right. So are you reactive or are you interactive or are you proactive? See, these are choices, right? And if you get to a place in life where you've all heard of the idea of unconditional love, you've all heard of that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a whopper, okay? Who's doing it, right? Unconditional love. That's a big one. But here's a new one for you. Unconditional happiness. How about that? Right? See, where you're in charge of you. You're in charge of how happy you are, in spite of the troubles, dismay, anything that could come up. And that way you come out like solid. Do you guys want to be solid or do you just want to be like all flimsy? What do you want? What do you want to be? Right?
Solid.
So
Solid.
embrace the idea of unconditional happiness. That it's not the outside that determines your happiness, it's the inside that determines your happiness. Okay? And line that up properly so you feel like your integrity is in check and all that, and everything's good. And you can choose to just be happy all the time, in spite of stuff that might be, look disappointing. But we got to deal with others, right? And their complaints and some people like to complain, they like to moan. And you know what? I had a person, I just met them, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I just met them yesterday. And as they were talking to me, they like it was like one complaint after another, and I was just, I was really listening very, very carefully. It didn't impact how I felt, by anything, but what they found was they really appreciated that I listened, you know, and I didn't really have to really, agree with them or, that wasn't my job, right? The fact that I listened to them was valued. Okay. And that's the power there. Okay. And I learned a long time ago that the person complaining is usually the one to blame. When it comes down to brass tacks, if you examine things closely, usually the person that's making the most noise, they're the one that they're the one that's the source of the trouble anyway. So that's why it's not a good idea to be a complainer. I could go biblical on that with you. I could show you scripture. It says, "Don't be a complainer."
Murmur and complainer.
What's that?
Murmuring and complaining.
Yeah, to murmur. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, the bottom line is that yes, we're in our season of trouble right now. I'm going to acknowledge that the season of trouble is real. We're going through it. We're experiencing it. But do I look like I'm upset? No,
No.
because I've chosen to respond in a way that's positive, right? It's like I remain excited about what we're going to end up building together. Okay. It's taken longer than I thought it would. It's been harder than I thought it would be. But in spite of all that, I'm still thrilled and excited about what this is turning into. And each new addition, as this community grows one by one by one, and I get to meet you, each one of you, I spend time with you one on one. I delight in that. It's a pure delight for me because it just tells me I'm on the right track. When I can keep attracting the same high quality, good-hearted people that you can really trust. Okay, you really can. People you can really trust. Because that's what this is all built on. It's built on trust. And pretty much any big endeavor, nothing big ever happens without trust. Trust is fundamental to everything. Okay. But we're dealing with some very sensitive things with the way that we structure our liquidity. I mean, just a tiny bit of selling, it makes the chart look ugly, $100, it looks like it took a dumpster dive, But it's just lines. It's just lines on a screen, No reason to get upset about it. But you can see that if you go into there today and see my response to it was, okay, buying opportunity, boom, 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 right? Because the last thing I want is sellers to feel like they can buy cheap. They're not going to get that chance to buy cheap. No, they won't happen. Okay. So if they sell, great. Then that means they spent their ammo. They can't respend it. Okay. Once they sell, they sell. So once their thing is empty, it's empty. And we're no longer going to put people in a position where they're getting additional ammunition. We're gonna hold off on that for a while. Okay. So, but programmer's busy with other things. I'll talk about that particular part maybe next week on how we're going to restructure PML so that people will have something to lose if they change their position of trust on us from being trustworthy to not being trustworthy. Okay. So, everybody needs to be in a position to lose. And I think that's what I'm so excited about this new coin is you got a lot to lose. Like you got one coin in your wallet, but you're gonna have at least 19,999 coins to lose. Okay. By screwing with us. So I think we're gonna have a real solid community on the new coin and many opportunities springing out of it. And you don't have to love every idea. You just have to go with where your heart takes you, and where your time allows, right? That kind of thing. All right. That's what I have. See, Scott from Thailand, you got your hand up. I'm sure you're a lot warmer over there than where I'm at. It's freezing. Let's see how I'm dressed warm today.
It's starting to get warmer now here,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
I'm envious.
A question about the new coin and new community.
Yes.
How long do you think it might be before that coin could be accepted by something like Aave, so that we can use it as collateral?
That one probably be a while. I think that's going to be our last coin that we show up on like an Aave frame because it's gonna be so diversified with opportunities. It will be harder to pitch it to Aave. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So no, I don't see that as an early one. I think it would be a later one.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
but the thing is that the community is going to want to be able to have some selling relief. Okay, I know 400 people are going to come together. They're like, okay, can we come up with a good plan that results where we can sell the coin to get some relief? You know, it's great to build something, but we want to get paid for our time and effort, whatever, right? So trust me,
Exactly. Yeah.
that's going to happen, and it's probably going to happen mostly in the one coin that's allocated. You know, how much you could sell out of that. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, so you know, there's going to be a process. Um, but I think we're going to see opportunities for relief pretty early on in the new coin where you could sell it. But it'll be measured. It'll be, you know, something that the community agrees on, and you're allowed to do it. And you don't have to do it. You can sell because you want to, not because you have to. I mean, you're spending $100
Okay,
bucks.
thank you.
You're spending $100 to get a minimum of $20 million. So, I mean, if you put it in that light, how soon can I get my $100 back? You know what I'm saying? Right? Probably pretty soon, you know. But other than that, you know, could you get 1,000 out of it pretty soon? Could you get 10,000 out of it pretty soon? You know, pretty soon, you know, might mean different things to different people, but you know, yeah. And if it only takes one great idea, then you know the community benefits way faster and better than the users. The users will never have that much access to that quantity of coin ever. It'll never happen, right? So the community is going to be in like a rock solid stance of equity. This is called an equity, you know, situation where you're going to have like equity for the rest of your life in this community. No user will be able to come up and, you know, accumulate that. No, I don't even see one user having the ability in 100 years, you know, getting to the point where they could accumulate, you know, 20,000 coins. Don't see it happen. So that's the power there. And Ken Russo, you got your hand up. Go ahead. You're muted.
Oh, it's muted.
Can't hear you.
I always forget that.
Yeah, okay.
Ace, how many people have already taken advantage of the new coin offer?
I don't know. I would say 20, but I don't know.
20?
I don't know. I'm only watching the wallet. Like $100 comes in, right? That's how I'd know. So maybe 20 so far, maybe 30. I don't know.
And who can take advantage of the offer? Do they have to be a former member?
They have to be
Full
holding
funding?
PML right now. They have to be holding a minimum of 0.0001 PML right now.
So if we have a friend that we can trust that's never been a member of pool funding, are they eligible to participate in the $100 offer?
Well, the STAR program's open still, so that's a way to slide in. Yeah. So for $1,000 they could. Yeah, because they're being, you know,
Okay.
that's the way to do it. But the idea is to reward the existing people. So this is not like, you know, the new opportunity hasn't even launched yet because the community hasn't decided what they want to launch yet, right? So there's going to be a process going on here. So we want to make sure those that have been true and faithful feel totally rewarded for being true and faithful, right? That's just the idea, Ken.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anybody else? We are definitely Q&A, so feel free to ask me anything. All right, Joe. Hey, Joe. Can't hear you either. You got your mute on. I see your lips moving. You gotta click unmute.
That was for Ken.
There you go.
So again, as a point of clarity,
Mhm.
someone that is interested in coming in, yes, it would be awesome if they came in at $1,000 to be a star. Then they get the community coin, you know, free. But like Ken asked, if I had someone that didn't want to come in, with $1,000 and just wanted to come into the group and pay them $100 to get the community coin.
They wouldn't see.
Or actually, let's say they came in and bought PML coin and
Yeah.
had qualifying PML coin, can that person come in and spend the $100 and be part of the community coin?
It's not really set up that way. Like the way
Okay.
I told the programmer to build it
Uh-huh.
was we want a list, and then that's it. That's the list.
Yeah. Okay. I just
That-
wanted to
So that list,
get there.
for a point of clarity, now you're
Yeah.
clear. The list is already made, and if you're not on the list, the only way you're going to get inserted at this point, the only loophole that exists really is the STAR program. That there's technically there's 6 more. Number 14 is there. I'm just trying to coordinate with her one final thing before I get her picture and all that. But yeah, we've actually got 14 stars now total. 6 more open still. So they're going faster now. So
Yeah, great. Okay, well, that clears it up. I hope it clears it up for everyone as well.
yeah, so don't think of the new coin as like a new opportunity to share, right? The new coin should be seen as a reward for those of you that are true and faithful and deserve the reward,
Excellent.
All right, that's how these.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, and the hands are popping up. I think Carrie was first, and then Darlene. We'll go with Carrie. Go ahead, Carrie.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Hi, Ace.
And Carrie
I have
from
one
Thailand. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I have a question about the STAR program.
Sure.
I think we're on 13 or something like that at the moment, lucky
Right.
number.
Uh-huh.
When do those purchases, or when will that was what $13,000 going into the PML purchases?
It's a process of if a person watches the blockchain carefully, they'll notice that when stars come in, I don't pump the thing up by $1,000.
Yeah, that's my question.
I've
Are
been
you doing it gradually?
sandbagging. I've been sandbagging. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And
That's
I've
my
been,
question, 'cause we
I've
don't
been
see
doing that
those-
because of the sellers, and then so the sellers have been playing right into my hand. Yeah,
Okay, great move. Okay, that was just my question. Thank you very much.
you're welcome. All right,
Thank you.
all right. Now, Darlene, go ahead.
Hey, Ace.
Hello.
everyone.
Hi.
Quick question.
Sure.
So this is something new to me that I'm like I said, this is my week 2,
Welcome
which is
to
kind of
being
over
new.
my head. I've been reading up on your pool funding and the videos and stuff, but it's still a little bit over my head. Now, about the $100 new coin you're talking about, how do we pay the $100?
Let me show you again. Come into the website here.
Do I have to have the money already there?
You have to have it in your wallet. So you have to have $100 in your wallet, right? So to demonstrate, so you look at your wallet here, and you go, "Do I have $100 of USDT?" Well, in my case, I've got over 2,000 sitting here in that particular wallet in USDT. Okay. All right. So there you go. So you have to have at least 100 of that. And then you go to Explore Community Coin Offer. You click on that, and there'll be a pay button right here. Now, I've already paid, so I have a receipt now. So I have a receipt. But until you pay, you don't get the receipt until you pay, right? So when you
So
click pay,
what
it'll
if you
engage your
don't have
wallet.
the 100?
Come again?
So I was going to say, what if because I'm a newbie, I don't have $100 in there. So how
Right.
do I put the $100 in there
I
so I
love
can
that
put it towards
question.
the coin?
Yes. So if you're really new to cryptocurrency, then who is your sponsor, by the way?
It's Charles Ragland.
Ace, she's in my team.
Okay. So Charles is
Yeah.
below Scott.
Well,
Yes,
with
yes.
Mel in between.
What?
With Mel. Mel is my direct sponsor. Then it's Charles. Then it's Darlene.
Okay. So Mel, Charles, then you?
No, I'm
me,
above.
yeah.
I'm above Mel.
Okay, you,
So I'm-
Mel, Charles, and
So it's
Darlene.
Scott,
Gotcha.
Mel, Charles, and then
All
Mick.
right. Well,
Yeah.
One thing I should say really is if Darlene is that new, she's only been in like a week.
yeah,
She's not likely to be on the list anyway, is she?
maybe. Do you have any PML?
She's still on the 777 offer, or just
got-
completed it.
That's okay.
No, I
That's
just
okay.
got off the 7-7 offer.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we got 6 more star positions open, Darlene, and I like the way you present and all that. So, you know. All right. So,
That's $1,000.
yep. But yeah, the
Okay, Ace, I got you.
yeah, but this is a huge reward for those that have been with us, and it's great. So, all right. So,
Okay. Thank you.
but you'll get trained on how to put money in, because the idea is to go from paper money to digital money, and from digital money back to paper money.
Okay.
That's the idea, right? You're gonna learn all about it. All right.
She's in
That's
the
why I'm here,
States, so
even if I don't get paid.
Yeah. Well, you're
you might
you're
be
gonna
close to
gonna
one of
like
those,
it,
ATMs.
huh?
She might be close to one of those ATMs that we had
Yeah,
the
there's
guy on
3,000
before
of
about.
them. I think you're right. That might be the easiest way to get in is go to the Bitcoin ATM, because you can convert Bitcoin into anything, So, yeah, once you have that.
Okay.
So, but the cool news is you got a support team.
Okay.
So you Charles obviously is excited to have you on his team, Darlene. But in addition to Charles, you also have Scott, and I believe, Scott, you're part of Paul's team too, or not? Are you separate?
Paul is my direct sponsor.
Okay, so
And Paul has reached out to me, so he has told me anytime I have any questions to reach out to him.
So what you need to know here, Darlene, is you're talking to me. I'm the main founder, if you will, the creator of Pool Funding,
Right.
and you're talking to me right now, and so you've got from me all the way through in where you got Paul out of the UK, Scott in Thailand, and all the way to Charles and yourself. You have the support team. You're part of one of the best teams we've got. So I don't think you could join another
Okay.
opportunity in the future and end up with this good of a team to support you. You landed on gold here. All right.
Okay.
So feel good about
Yes, sir.
that. All right. Congratulations,
Yes.
Darlene, for landing on gold. Okay.
Yes.
Anybody else before we close out the call? Good. Was it a good call? You guys feel good about the call?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, a good call.
All right.
Yes, a good call.
How they say that was a delicious call.
I feel good. I knew that I would.
Absolutely
now.
delicious.
There you go. All right. So that's what I'm talking about. How about we just wrap up the call with that? 'Cause I feel good. All right.
I
Everybody just
feel
tell me.
good.
I feel
I
good.
feel good.
Good.
Feeling good in the hood.
I feel good.
Just like I
Dun,
should.
dun, 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 dun.
Feeling good.
So good.